bruh.
So the Mediterranean over there by Egypt.
Mediterranean over there by Egypt.
So do you know where Turkey is?
That nigga just look up some shit. And
Do you know where Turkey is?
Good morning.
Good morning.
The Google fingers ain't fast enough, bro.
I'm not on Google.
You
Well,
want
I don't
something,
understand how
nigga.
you're talking about these things and you don't know where these places are.
Okay, so the Golden Horn, the Bosphorus, are the. Do y'all know about those?
No, sir, I do think you need to address the fact that Constantinople is along the Mediterranean, and she asked you that, right? Because you have Asia, like Asia Minor, right? Is where? What modern country is that?
Asia Minor would be modern.
What?
You said modern country?
Yeah, like what modern country is the beginning of Asia Minor?
Asia Major would be up.
I said minor, bitch.
I'm trying to separate them, ho, so I can remember. Shit, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, then you don't need to be talking about the Mediterranean or any of the stuff you're talking about, because when she's just talking about Constantinople, it's along the Mediterranean better.
The Mediterranean basin.
And that's Turkey, which is what
There's
she's
the
what she's talking
Mediterranean
about.
Sea.
Yes.
There's the whole coast of Europe, the whole coast of North Africa, part of the Middle East, which is Asia, like all on the Mediterranean Sea.
Yes, so Iberian Peninsula, Italy, Asia Minor, Greece, along the Aegean Sea, right? So all of those places right there, that's the Mediterranean area, you stupid ass.
Conversation right around here, and this is what I'm trying to get y'all to talk about.
No. Listen. Do you know the areas you're talking about?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then why the hell did you just say Constantinople was not along the Mediterranean?
Because I'm speaking of.
You're speaking of the Mediterranean, and so
yeah,
we just talked to you about Constantinople and Turkey.
And if I was only stuck on the Golden Horn and what was happening over by Galata and the Golden Horn,
Turkey is nowhere.
So again.
Hey, bro. Hey, Esabio, do me a favor, bro.
We're not talking about Turkey. We're talking about Istanbul.
What?
Istanbul is in fucking Turkey.
What?
It's Constantinople, bro.
No.
Like, what are you talking about?
No, you know what? Hey,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, you know what?
Like, Constantinople is Istanbul. They just changed the fucking name.
I absolutely know that, because Constantinople.
Okay, so it's in Turkey.
Istanbul in 1453.
We ain't talking about Turkey, baby. We're talking about Istanbul.
Istanbul. Constantinople became Istanbul, the apple of my eye, in 1453.
We're not talking about the United States, baby. We're talking about California.
Move. It's still in the same fucking place.
So chill out. This is what I'm trying. So before we got to running all over the place, because this was only about the statement about how this empire falling led the Romans, or the Christians and the Jews that were the people of the book, who were homeless. And I'm talking about the Christians and Jews who were in that empire, Constantinople, who had to flee when they became homeless serfs, landless serfs, because they weren't able to.
North Africa.
I'm almost done.
Tiff, I got a question.
In 1440, they had already started making their way to the Madeira Islands, the Portuguese and Spanish. The Portuguese.
Do you know how far Portugal is from Constantinople?
Chill. Yes, I do. Chill. Stop. Chill. This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with.
How do they have to do with each other?
Yes, it has to do with the loss of the trade routes, and the Ottoman pirates.
How do you lose the trade route when you control the Strait of Gibraltar?
Are you listening? Or are you going to ask questions? Because I'm just trying to get you to the point where you can start seeing. It won't if you don't read. If you
I got a question to ask you when he done rambling.
If y'all don't read, and you should already know, because we used to talk about this shit all the time in the paradigm shift, and me, Raheem, and a lot of other people that went through and broke this shit down. Black Line Supreme, Rocky, We done broke it down. We done broke
Hey,
it down.
Sabio,
So
don't nobody give a
Leandre,
shit, bro.
you
Keep
should
going.
already know. You should
Okay, can
already
you
know.
finish?
So
Like,
Can you
so
finish? I got a
so
question for Tiffany.
so so once they took control of those trade routes, the Portuguese them had to find ways around so their goods wouldn't get stolen.
by the Barbary
So they
pirates?
found by the they weren't Barbary pirates. They weren't Barbary. They were Ottoman pirates.
I'm 100% positive they were Barbary pirates.
They were Ottoman pirates. They
I'm
weren't
100% positive they're fucking
because they
Barbary
weren't.
pirates.
There was that's a Barbary coast. They were Ottoman.
Oh, okay.
They were under
Did you tell
what's
Tiffany earlier that
they
Morocco is not
they
along
were
the
under
Mediterranean
Piri.
and that it was in
They
North
were
Africa?
they were under
Yeah, he
Piri
did.
Reefs. They were under
Okay.
Piri Reefs.
Okay.
They were under Piri
Did you
Reefs.
Piri Reese,
tell
the map maker?
And he was also Piri Reefs was a map maker. He was a Ottoman captain.
Mhm.
All that.
Did you tell Tiffany that North Africa is not along the Mediterranean
All
earlier?
that.
Sabio?
Morocco.
Yes. I want you to look at a map of Africa. Show me the fucking Mediterranean Sea, and I want you to tell me if
It's
North
on
Africa.
the western coast of Africa.
What?
The northwestern coast of Africa.
Okay, cool. That is just fine. I asked you a very simple question. Is it along the Mediterranean?
Is it? Maybe.
What?
I'd have
What do you
to
mean
look.
maybe? What do you mean maybe? Do
Did
you know
you
the
really
Mediterranean
just say,
Sea?
bruh, he's trying to teach us and he don't even know what countries are along the Mediterranean? I've
He
been to
says
the
about the
Mediterranean. I've been
Mediterranean.
to Rome. I've been to Venice. I've seen it, right? Like, so
Yeah.
If I said it is, it is. And if I was
Oh
wrong,
no, it was going to be there whether or not you said it.
I was wrong.
Yeah, it's just like you were wrong about Turkey and
No,
Constantinople
I'm
and
not.
Istanbul.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
were.
No,
You were wrong about all
no.
of them.
Turkey is Istanbul. And Istanbul was Constantinople.
we know
Okay.
that.
Did you tell
This is
Tiffany
what I've
earlier?
been saying for.
Did you tell her earlier
This is what I've been saying for
that
years.
Constantinople wasn't along the Mediterranean?
No,
Yes, you did.
no, I didn't.
Yes, the hell you
No,
did.
I know where Constantinople is.
No.
You don't even know where Morocco is. You don't even know how to get into the Mediterranean, let alone all the way to the other
You can go
side.
through the Bosphorus. You can
Which is
go.
why when she mentioned the
You
Strait
can
of
go through.
Gibraltar, it was
You can go
silence.
through the Bosphorus. You can go
Right,
through
he
the
didn't even know what that was.
You can go through the Golden Horn.
No, you can go through the Strait of Gibraltar or you can go through the Suez Canal in 2025. Those are the only ways.
Oh, the Suez Canal. I forgot about the Suez Canal.
Hell yeah, you did.
And that was built in the 1920s, something like that.
Right, so there was no way. You had to go around Africa. There was no way to get into the Mediterranean before that, from that side.
The Golden Horn.
Hey, Sabio, do me a favor, bro.
You could not go through the Red Sea into the Mediterranean prior to them building the Suez Canal.
Hey, he learned from top scholars, yo.
Yeah, I did.
Hell yeah, you did.
So again, back to the
You said you had your degrees in Africana studies.
Back to the fall of Constantinople and how it
your,
led,
your degree was in
how it
Africana studies.
and how it led to the slave trade. So
But you don't think it was the fall of the Moorish Empire and the Spanish Inquisition?
That all is part of Constantinople's fall. Why?
How?
I'm trying to explain it.
We're waiting.
If your degree is in Africana studies and you don't know nothing about North Africa, buddy, return that shit. Take it back. Take it back up there.
Do you know how far Constantinople is from Portugal?
Can you just
clear across the goddamn Mediterranean?
It's literally like from New York to LA.
It has to do with empires. It has to do with empire building. Empires. It has to do with empires. And empires. And the loss of and the fall and the loss of.
So you understand the Western Roman Empire had been fell, right? Like
so it's not a pseudo story. This is all history. No, No one's saying that. Stop adding shit. No, no,
You said
no, 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 no. This has so they come into picture, they come into the conversation at a certain time.
When did the Ottoman Empire start?
The Ottoman Empire started in 1299. The official start of it would be 1299, something like
Okay,
that.
you got that right.
In Erdene or Konya, one of those cities.
Right. So it kicked off the transatlantic slave trade.
No, it didn't kick off shit because the slave trade
Bro,
that they
I'm
actually
reading
had was
your
the Ottoman
words.
slave trade.
What are you saying?
What about the
I-
trans-Saharan slave trade, the Indian Ocean slave trade, the other slave trades that were already
said
going
the
on?
transatlantic.
talk to us about Zanzibar, Esabio, right now. Go.
This has nothing to do with Zanzibar.
But this is where they were selling the slaves the most. Like, what, bro? What are you talking about?
So asking all these questions.
Zanzibar is one of the oldest slave trading posts
Thank you for the information.
in East Africa.
Now, again, the Ottomans had their own slave trade, which would have been the trans-Saharan.
Because that was the only way they could get out the Mediterranean?
Or it would have actually been a mixture because they were taking Serbs and them Christians that they were at war with, as well as Africans into slavery.
But Serbia and
Look, they wasn't only taking Serbians. They was taking Christians from all over the place and enslaving them. Mainly
from Eastern Europe. So what does that got to do with the transatlantic slave trade? If you're taking Serbians and Russians and shit, what that got to do with Africa?
And because at one point they decided, because they were all of the Abrahamic faith, that they could no longer take Christians and enslave them. Yes, it is, because y'all don't want to listen to the history. It's all written down though.
Like, so you talking about like a primary you got that says this, like, or what are you drawing this from?
Oh shit! So now I got to go get you the source where it says.
Well, I'm asking. You said it's written down. I'm asking where. It's not a difficult ask.
Made a rule that they sat down and said that they were no longer enslaved those of the same faith. That's why
who was of the same faith though?
That's why I just posted it in the back.
Wait. Being people of the book didn't make them people of the same faith though, right? This is part of the reason why they were called Kafirs.
Ethnicity. It was about religion and not ethnicity.
You think so what was like the crusades and different things like that?
It was different.
What was the purpose for it?
Which crusade? The first crusades or the second crusade?
The last one, the most recent one.
To purge the world, to get rid of the infidel. What they considered the infidel.
Who considered the infidel?
The Christians.
Were Christians considered the infidels?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was in response to 800 years of what?
Wars with the Muslims.
Okay.
In what part of the Mediterranean?
Don't bring that back up, please.
That whole area, not one specific part, because
the whole Mediterranean.
That whole.
So the Crusades wasn't a battle for like one specific region.
That war.
Okay, never mind.
That whole world was at war. Christians and Jews and Muslims was at war.
Damn, the Jews was fighting too?
Yeah, Jews was always involved.
Okay, wait. What they had like a? How was the Jews fighting? Where was they fighting from? Like, where was their home base? Where were they fighting from?
I mean, I know they ran into Venice, into the little ghetto there.
Yes,
in the 1500s.
that's what.
That was like the first place.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out. So Sabia, how were the Jews involved? What the Jews was doing?
Jews was being conscripted into both sides. They would fight for the Muslims sometimes.
Okay, I want you to listen to my question. Listen to my question. Okay, listen to my question. Okay. Did the Jews, did they have like a home base? Where were they fighting from? Like who was their leader? Like talk to me about it. Talking about the Jews in this thing.
Are these Ashkenazis or Sephardics?
No,
Are they Kohanim? Maybe was the Kohanim? Which one?
But now they don't know that Jews was involved in these wars.
Bro, listen, I'm not talking about a handful of people who might have been of Jewish descent who's fighting something. You just told me that the Jews and Christian Muslims were all fighting, and I'm asking you a very simple question about it. Substantiate that for me.
They were fighting over territory. They were fighting over
Territory where?
They were fighting over religious.
What territory where?
Religious shit.
The whole Mediterranean, Leandre.
So yeah, there were Jewish that
Ionian Sea.
He really think they were lost. He really.
I don't think I'm asking you a question. Oh my god, Sid, I'm just asking you questions.
Lost.
I'm trying to figure this out, bro. You learn from top scholars, bro. I'm just asking.
They had a big battle on Crete. You know.
Yeah.
And they just flew right over to Barcelona.
Hell yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like
Esabio, fill me in, bro. You keep going silent, bro. Are you probably busy or something? I'm trying to get the answers to these questions.
I was only trying to talk about one thing.
Okay, because I thought you talked about the Mediterranean, and then you started saying shit that's in the Mediterranean is not in the Mediterranean, like North Africa, and then like Turkey. So I'm confused. What's the one thing you want to talk about?
North Africa isn't a place. North Africa is Africa.
The entire coast of North Africa is on the Mediterranean Sea.
In its entirety, yes.
Talking about Morocco, Egypt,
Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt.
Yeah, so like Morocco, the place you said that's not in the Mediterranean, yeah, that place. You get
into Israel, Jordan, Syria, Turkey.
Levant. That's the Levant.
Then from Turkey, you go over into Greece.
How is it being the Levant mean that it's not Mediterranean?
Croatia. Then passively you get to France, Spain. Like it's a whole sea.
From Africa.
They said you'll log out for me, bro.
I won't.
Do you know how far Tunisia is from Sicily?
Nope. Ain't never been.
Maybe you should go look at a map of the Mediterranean Sea and then come back and talk to us.
None of that has to do with anything that I was.
Yes, it does. It has very much to do with everything you're talking about.
The story of barbarians always in their bag.
Absolutely, it doesn't.
I don't know.
Absolutely,
this with Tiffany.
Because what I'm actually talking about.
Okay, so where's the Strait of Gibraltar? How does the Strait of Gibraltar play into of the Mediterranean Sea?
I'm not going to answer that because
during World War II, how come Italy lost all of its power?
I'm not talking about World War II.
I am right now. I'm just trying to give you some perspective of where you're talking about.
I don't care about World War II right now. What I'm actually was trying to get y'all to understand was how these other slave trades, these other trading routes that were being utilized by these people in this empire. When they no longer had access, they had to find new routes. And
right, and you understand you can't get out the Mediterranean without going through the Strait of Gibraltar, right? It's an 8 miles between the coast of Morocco and Spain.
We can dance together. We can't talk together. Let me speak for myself. All right, I was right at a place to where I was going to start letting y'all know how in the 1440s they started going to the Madeira Islands. This was the initial, them finding them ways around who? The Ottomans. They had to find ways around so they wouldn't have to pay the taxes or have their shit stolen.
So they somehow got out of the Strait of Gibraltar?
Oh shit. Yes. They went around the
So like to get from Turkey to the Madeira Islands where you're talking about, you have to go through the Strait of Gibraltar.
They made it.
Like there's no other way to get there.
They made it in the 1440s. Henry the Navigator talks about it.
Right, because Madeira Island is off the coast of Morocco.
But they in the 1440s they actually went there in I think in 1410 was their first initial foray into those islands. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I looked into it, but I think their first foray was in like the 1410s, 1415 or something like that.
Okay.
So they had already started finding them ways around these Muslims who were taxing them.
What do you mean? The Moors were still ruling that area at that point. They didn't get kicked out till like 1492.
And they were being taxed.
What?
This is
Bruh.
part of the
Hear what she just listen.
I
Respond
can't.
to what she just said. The Moors were still in control at this time. Okay, the Iberian Peninsula was still very much under control. So you just said that they found a way. Explain this way around. Out via water. Explained it. Explain their way out via sea. Go.
They found it. They apparently they were able to sail across the Atlantic. Or
you have
down.
to get to the Atlantic
How did they
first.
get to the Atlantic? Look at the damn map. Okay, look at the map, and you tell us how they got out of the Mediterranean to the Atlantic. Because they got to the Atlantic. How? How'd they get there? By sea. How did they get there?
Henry the Navigator got there.
No, it's called the Strait of Gibraltar.
Oh my God!
Henry the Navigator. He got there.
But they got there because the Moors were still in control of the Strait of Gibraltar in 1450.
It's written by Henry the Navigator himself.
He like missing what? Who the fuck is Henry the Navigator? Bro, like, the fuck?
What are y'all missing? Henry the Navigator wrote it himself.
Right, like this is a Portuguese person.
Mm-hmm.
My family is Portuguese. They come from the Azore Islands. They sailed here by boat too. Like, what are we doing?
They made it too early. The Azores.
They came to California.
The Azores made it. I think they made it to the Azores Islands early too.
Yeah, my family made it there in like the 1400s, probably before that. But what does that got to do with anything? They were Portuguese people, not Muslim.
So this you're talking about Henry. Why is this person important right now?
Why? Because he was one of the first people to start enslaving Africans. Not only
but he's a European from Portugal.
You know this.
He's not a Muslim Moor.
Oh, who said he was?
Bruh.
I didn't ever say he was. I didn't ever say he was more.
So how does this go with saying that Constantinople, the fall, and the Ottomans created the transatlantic slave trade, and now you're talking about some Henry the Navigator guy?
All these people are important to the conversation. So, without the fall of Constantinople, these people
that would be without the fall of the Moorish Empire, because when you're talking about the Moors are still running Spain at the time period you're talking about for another like 40 years.
And who runs those? The Ottomans is in
Morocco was never part of the Ottoman Empire. They fought them. They didn't want to be part of it.
So in 14,
that's why they signed a treaty with America. That's why we have this friendship treaty that we were the first to sign with Morocco, because they weren't part of the Barbary pirates in the Ottoman Empire.
No, Tiffany, remember, he just said earlier that the Muslims weren't fighting each other.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, they came together and said, we can't do this. We have to.
They weren't fighting each other because they had the same religion. Remember he said that?
My bad. I'm sorry.
This has nothing to do with
y'all.
Barbary pirates either. Barbary pirates have nothing to do with this.
Like
unified, and they have nothing to do with
it,
honey. You hear that?
I'm sorry.
They're all unified, but the Barbary pirates have nothing to do with this.
I didn't ever say the Muslims were fighting each other.
Have you ever heard the Marines song they sing about the shores of Tripoli and all of that?
I didn't
fighting the Barbary pirates.
I did never say the Muslims weren't fighting Muslims.
You did.
What?
You did.
No, I did not.
Oh my God.
No. I did not ever. I did not ever say
what
that.
Did you say? They always been fighting together and said, "We have the same religion. We can't be doing this. We got to go against them."
No.
Who were those people?
I didn't hear him say that. Is that what I'm hearing? Because I know I heard that.
He definitely.
I know that we was cool with Morocco, so we could go through the Strait of Gibraltar. So I don't understand.
It wasn't about ethnicity. It was about religion. and they said they weren't going to be fighting each other. It was because they had the same
No.
religion.
So the
I didn't hear that shit.
so the Ottomans actually had trade agreements with Britain, Spain, and France to not touch their boats. But everybody else, they was fucking up.
Not only that, the Moors. The Moors
So when
was fighting
America
the
got
Moors
its
was fighting
freedom, right after the revolution, they started fucking up our boats because we were no longer under the British Empire.
the Moors was
So then
fighting
we
each other
went and made an
in
agreement
Spain.
with Morocco because they don't fuck with the other ones and started dealing with them.
The Moors in Spain were infighting with each other constantly. Like that's what led up to the fall of Al-Andalus and Granada, was the infighting between Moors, like the different factions and regimes of Islamic belief systems, and then you had the Jews mixed in there. So between all of that shit, you know what I'm saying, and then you had another dichotomy because you had Arabs that were ruling over Berbers, and the Berbers were being treated like second-class citizens, right? And so that caused a rift between the administration between the Arabs and the Berber armies. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the Berber armies that took Spain, but it was the Islamic Arabic leadership that took them there. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know.
And that was under Mehmed's successor that happened in 1492. I think that was
Queen
Bayezid.
Isabella
No, Bayezid II.
and King Ferdinand.
Yeah, it was
Spain?
Queen Isabella and Ferdinand.
Yeah. But the Ottoman ruler at that
The
time,
Ottomans ain't got nothing to do with that.
Like they're nowhere near each other.
Like that, you talk.
No. I knew his whole premise is that this Ottoman Empire is what kicked off the transatlantic slave trade.
No, it's not. No, it didn't kick off shit. It didn't kick off shit.
You said
It didn't kick off
sir.
shit.
I'm reading
No,
your
I said it led to the transatlantic slave trade, and I was going to show you how.
Kicked off because of his takeover of Constantinople. I'm talking about the transatlantic slave trade.
And if you
need to address the statement that you made, because that's what you said.
And I've been trying.
Well, you got to admit that you was wrong about that first.
No, I wasn't, because
You haven't been wrong one time, y'all. I have been wrong. I have been wrong. And when I was wrong, I said I was wrong. So again, there's also a video on Kings and Generals where it actually talks about what I'm saying. Actually, I'm gonna go get that video and post it in there for you.
Ain't nobody gonna watch it.
What you said.
Cool.
Ain't nobody gonna watch it.
Cool. But basically, had not Constantinople, those people, those Christians, Jews, lost those trade routes.
They're Romans. They're Romans. They're Byzantines.
Okay, you can call them Romans if you want to. We can call them Romans. Cool. Call them Byzantines if you want to. We can call them that. If those trade routes would not have been usurped by the Ottomans in 1453, they wouldn't have had to find new trade routes.
In 1453.
Okay, I have a question. I have a question because you keep talking about this Ottomans taking over. So when the western part of Rome fell, what happened then?
Wouldn't that be after the Moors? Wouldn't that be after?
No, these are two different sides of the Mediterranean we're talking about. He's trying to conflate them
eventually
together.
they encroach eventually, but that was later on. That was after the fall of the Moors.
So 1453 before 1452. They didn't start until after 1492.
Bro,
we're being kicked out, and they weren't.
Yeah, but those Moors are not related to the Ottomans. They're not the same people, same empire. They don't they're not the same.
So why shit?
They would have been beefing with each other.
I'm in a body bag, y'all. So when they were being kicked out of Spain, they were able to go where? To the Ottoman Empire. But what made them
the Jews
leave
ran to Venice.
what made them leave the Ottoman Empire was the restrictive laws.
Yeah, it was either be a Christian or die.
Didn't that contradict what you just said then?
Mm-mm.
That would make them run from the Ottomans, not
No,
band up with
they
them.
had to leave because of the restrictive laws. They were invited back by Bayezid. This is in history.
Invited back where? They came from North Africa.
We're not. They can't, when they left Italy, Spain, I mean, they got kicked out of Spain. They were invited back to the Ottoman Empire. But when they got there, after they settled, they realized the Jews, for instance, had to wear badges, yellow badges, I think, on the shirt.
Like the Holocaust?
They were no, in the Ottoman Empire. Look it up. Because the Jew, so again, this is what y'all not understanding. They've all it's so much to it that I'm trying to sum it up quickly.
Yeah, but you got to understand that the Ottoman Empire is a whole different dynasty than like the Almoravid and the Usaid like those are all different dynasties. They're not all the same people. In fact, they probably would have been conflicting with each other.
It's like saying Hopi Indians are the same as some Seminoles.
No.
Yes.
I'm not.
Like, they Indians, yeah. But they ain't the same.
Seminole, just a bunch of tribes.
I was just meaning like their geography. Like you got some people over here in the Grand Canyon and some people over here in Florida. The ecosystem is gonna make them live differently. Like
what I'm trying to
they're not the same people.
What I'm trying to get,
they're not the same.
No one said anything like that.
Hey,
You're making it seem like because they're Muslim, they're all the same people.
Sabio, just paraphrase what you're trying to say with your point. Because it do sound like a lot of rain. So,
I'm trying to say that I am retarded. And I have a clip notes of stuff that I wrote down from YouTube videos. And I just regurgitated with no comprehension.
Thank you.
Somebody mocking that nigga?
No, that was him, bro. Why would you think?
Nah, that was dumbass DeAndre.
Now, why would I? Do I seem like the type of person to mock somebody, bro? Come on, man.
Now again, before all the interruptions.
As somebody you've mocked, yes.
Man, that's crazy, bro. Now I'm being attacked. All right.
Now. Y'all want to learn.
We want to learn things that are true. We don't want to just learn shit in your brain that don't make sense.
35 minutes and you haven't gotten it out yet.
I would have been done 20 minutes ago without all the interruptions.
Okay, well, stay on the course.
Moors, bitches. I can't stand Moors. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. Well, go ahead and let us know how this led to this. We still waiting.
20 minutes ago.
I knew.
Well, hey, we listening, man.
Did we learn what the Strait of Gibraltar is?
How about North Africa, the Mediterranean?
The Mediterranean, right?
Or Turkey?
Istanbul, not Turkey.
Constantinople.
There's still a lot of background noise.
Talking about Ohio, not the United States.
Right.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to everybody who ain't retarded.
And Laurel, they got a lot of background noise. But Esabio, have you looked it up yet? So you can tell us what you
I already know what I want to say. What I've been saying.
Okay, say it again. We forgot.
I think
Don't claim nothing on Unc.
Go on mute.
I think
Yeah, Laurel, can you go on mute, please?
Garfield and a few other people have
We
also been.
can't hear you.
This nigga keep dropping and not
We don't
say
want to know
something.
what these other people that aren't here know. We want to know what you talking about. Stop telling us to go ask Sean, ask Ankh, ask Garfield. Them people ain't here right now.
Look. All I'm trying to say is that this concept that and this angle isn't new. What I'm talking about isn't new.
But we don't know what
It may
you're
be
talking
new.
about.
Listen. Chill
We're
out.
trying to make it make sense.
Chill out. Chill
Why
out.
are you yelling at us?
Because y'all keep interrupting me. It's getting annoying.
You're getting
If
aggressive.
y'all haven't look at this.
Touche.
It's not. I've been trying to tell y'all for the last 35 minutes, as y'all said, 38 minutes, as y'all said. At this point, I'm frustrated. I didn't.
Have you gone to
So,
therapy?
look, do your daddy bitch?
Yes, he does actually. Do you?
Okay, now tell your daddy and you to go to therapy, you bitch nigga.
Okay.
Why y'all be talking that gangster shit on this line, man? Y'all tripping, man. Just have a regular conversation.
I would have been done.
You have to know the geography of what he's talking about to have a
Bro, you
normal
came in here and
conversation
said
first.
that Turkey
Here we
wasn't
go.
founded
Here
about
we go.
Arabia.
Everybody
We're talking about
speaking
Turkey. We're
for me.
talking about
Y'all, if y'all
Istanbul,
don't know what the
Paris,
fuck I'm talking about,
all
don't
this shit.
speak for me.
Nigga, you don't know what you're talking about.
You have went
That's why
back
you
and
told us
watched
that North
what you
Africa wasn't along
said.
the Mediterranean.
Right. You right. So again, all y'all are right because y'all don't study the shit that I've studied.
What?
If you study the Mediterranean and don't know that North Africa
Shut
is
up,
along
bitch.
the Mediterranean?
Tiffany was beating your
Yep.
ass off the top of her head. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, she wasn't.
Off
No, the fuck
the
she
top of
wasn't.
her head.
You're a damn lie.
No, she wasn't.
You didn't have to admit you was wrong on hella occasions. What are you talking about? And she was freestyling.
Because I was freestyling.
You're the one who
Now,
said you studied the stuff.
You off the top of her head.
You just said that the girl who don't study the stuff was beating your ass, and you was like, listen, what are you talking about?
actually, I did it.
She told you about Morocco being along the Mediterranean, and you said that's in North Africa. That's not Mediterranean. Then you said the same shit. Then you start talking. We're not talking about Turkey. We're talking about Istanbul. What?
Because I'm not thinking about the Barbarian because I'm not thinking. I'm not looking at
what country is Istanbul in?
No. Where the fuck do we get the name Mediterranean from? These niggas ain't talking about the sea. See, man.
The Mediterranean Ocean. The Mediterranean Ocean.
Mediterranean Ocean.
No, the Mediterranean Sea.
You know what? Hey, it's clear. It's clear.
Mediterranean Ocean is wild. What oceans are in the world? Please name all the oceans. We learned this in like third grade.
Keep calling it the Mediterranean. We're
The
talking
Lake
about
Ugandan Ocean is gonna be next.
The Mediterranean only has one exit. How could it be an ocean?
Lake Victoria.
I'm talking about the ocean map. See,
yeah, if you go look on the map, it's gonna say the Mediterranean Sea.
Mississippi Ocean.
Yeah, I know it's the sea.
The Gulf of Ocean.
The Frank Ocean.
I said
the Mississippi River really the Nile.
Hey, Esabio, bro, you don't like feel stupid as shit right now? Like real talk, you don't feel like in your skin, you don't feel that you dumb as shit.
No, I actually don't because I said Mediterranean Sea. You looked out the window like I said something stupid.
No, you said ocean.
You said
ocean. You did.
I
You said Mediterranean Ocean.
I said ocean second. I said Mediterranean Sea first.
You shouldn't have said it first.
Why?
Because it's not a fucking ocean.
It's not the Mediterranean Sea, as I said the first time, bitch.
It's not you didn't say the Mediterranean Sea.
Hey,
you said we're not talking about. You know what?
First.
You know what?
Did I say?
I ain't gonna be gassing this morning.
First.
That's why I'm maroon. I just stick my shit. I'm just.
Do you find maroons on the Gulf of America?
Oh my God, not the Gulf of it.
Hey.
So tell us how the Constantinople. What did he say? Something. I don't even.
I'm a Gullah maroon.
Hey.
The Black
Empire kicked off something. The
transatlantic slave trade, but just forget about the trans-Saharan slave trade, the Indian Ocean slave trade.
That nigga told me Zanzibar didn't matter. I said, okay, you know what?
I don't even think he knows where Zanzibar is.
Well, I don't doubt it. The nigga said he studied North Africa. He says he has an Africana studies degree and don't know about goddamn North Africa. Goddamn it. So it wouldn't surprise me. But hey, I remember one time I was talking to this nigga about dates, and this nigga told me AD stood for antediluvian. And I was like, okay.
That is.
See, I told y'all. I said it. I told y'all.
I can show you.
Yep.
He said Richard Carrier told me that. I said,
No, I
goddamn.
didn't.
You a goddamn lie. It's on video, bitch.
I didn't never say
It's on video. It's on video.
I learned it in high school, bitch. And I'm
You learned
You
that.
need, they need to close your high school.
I'm gonna show you
Y'all talking. We got to talk about
Wait,
this
what did
school.
he say it stands for? Antediluvian?
Antediluvian,
That's
yes.
wild.
I'm gonna show you the double definition
crazy.
of AD.
Like I said, we were talking about time. I just want you to understand, we were talking about time. And this nigga,
What does BC stand for? So wouldn't AD need to stand for something similar to BC?
More common era.
No, that's changed. Prior to that, what did it stand for?
you said BC, not BCE.
Right.
You stupid bitch. Why are you taking so long?
I didn't say BCE though. I said BC.
Why are you taking so long, dude? Come on.
Are you Googling it?
Before
Sabio, come on,
It's
cuz.
not that hard.
And this right here saying antediluvian is pre-flood.
Yes, that's pre-flood. And
But
so
Which makes
but
no
we were there.
sense for
AD stands for Anno Domini, right? In the year of
Yes,
our Lord,
yes.
because it means
Listen,
after Christ,
I want
right?
y'all to know
Because
this whole
BC
conversation on
meant
video.
before Christ.
Yes, we actually were talking about when I was in time and history and stuff, right? And then we said AD. He was like that means antediluvian. It's talking about the year since the flood. And I was like, and since the flood, listen, all the shit is on video too. And so I was like, bro, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, Richard Carrier told me that.
No, I didn't.
You're a goddamn lie.
That was like a carrier pigeon or something. Like, what's happening?
I learned it in high school, bitch.
Your high school needs to be
Never learned
closed
that in high
because
school.
when was this flood?
That kind of explains it a whole lot. If your high
Now y'all see what I be saying? Like when a nigga be like, he graduated or he went to high school. That's what I be talking about.
Is it a double definition? Anno Domini and antediluvian.
No, you made that up.
The fuck
It's
are you
not.
talking about?
yeah.
Did you say a double definition?
Yeah.
Somebody, please.
But okay, I have a question then. When was this flood that is after? It was in like 1 BC?
Shit.
Yeah, that's
Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
It did never happen. Yeah, that's a me. That's a me.
Okay, but if the flood happened, it would have happened before BC times, right? Because this was like even
That's what I'm
prior to
saying.
that. So what was BC? I don't understand.
in the dictionary.
How would AD come before BC?
Is it in the dictionary? Is it in the dictionary?
In what dictionary? The Urban Dictionary?
What are you talking about?
No. It's in Merriam-Webster.
Goddamn.
Antediluvian.
No,
Antediluvian.
No, I'm not saying antediluvian isn't a thing. It doesn't go with AD and time.
Yeah, but he might be using AD in a different context, right?
Yeah.
So
What
he
did I
might
tell
not-
y'all the context of? So like I said, we was legit. It's
Because
on
they have
video.
the same
They were talking
acronym,
about
they're the
dates.
same or
They
something.
were talking
Yeah,
about the dates. So if it was 1200 AD, he's going to say that means 1200 years after the fucking flood of Noah.
That's what they were. That's how they used it.
Who was they?
No,
Not
no.
me. Because
Who
if
was
you
they?
read it right here, here it is right here. Here it is right here in the dictionary. Here it
Yes,
is.
it's a
Before-
word. That does not
before
mean
there was
that's what AD
antediluvian,
means.
Before there was antediluvian, there were Latin words. There were the Latin words anti meaning
Such
for
thing as
and
the word.
diluvium.
What does that have to do
1600s.
with Anno Domini?
English speakers were using antediluvian to describe conditions they believe existed before
What's that to
the
do with the
What does
before-
that have to do with in the year of our Lord?
What's that have to do with the date?
It-
You said conditions.
So again,
So were
Yeah,
they
tell us
using
again.
AD
in
before
this
Jesus?
conversation that we were having about dates, and he brought that up, I was using it. to
And I
reference-
asked him AD
I was
or
looking
BC.
at it from
and his
Christian
response back
perspective, and
was
this
the
is
shit I'm telling
how
y'all now.
I was looking at it from his Christian perspective, and I didn't think about Anno Domini, the
That's
year of
crazy.
our Lord.
That's crazy that you didn't think of it in that way. Because I asked you about AD and BC. You was giving me dates, and I asked you about AD or BC, right? Because you was doing the same thing you was doing now. You was fucking up history, and then your response back was talking about how AD stood for antediluvian, and you said Richard Carrier told you that.
Talking about the Bible. No, I learned it in high school. I can tell you the teacher who taught me the word. I learned
Good.
it.
Please give us his
Actually
name
learned
so we
it
can have
on
him
self-
criminally charged.
Dead now. He was a German, and his last name was Wilhelm. He's
Okay. What's his
now.
first name? I want him arrested. I want him brought up on charges today.
He's actually part of the Wilhelm. He's actually part of the Wilhelm Star family from Germany.
Wilhelm, what? Star family? Wait, what?
Now,
It's secret society, dude, huh? I knew it. Been in conspiracy to tear down our people.
The Wilhelm Star family of Russia. I mean, of Germany.
This man.
You're being real pseudo today, and I don't understand.
I want him arrested.
Real pseudo.
Give us his first name.
I forgot it.
You don't need to be afraid no more.
I forgot his first name.
Okay,
What year?
Okay, so
He got Stockholm syndrome.
next time you come and try and teach us about like geography and things like that, you need a map. No, you don't. No, you do not, bro. Like, stop.
What I was actually speaking on was.
I'm just saying, if you fucking it up, man, how much more other shit?
An empire that took control of another empire. And when they took
a lot of shit.
Empire, those people who was controlling the trade routes, getting their goods, getting their food, and the things that they needed to exist, they could no longer get them. They became landless serfs. And in order for them to
this is in Turkey, right? Like over in Anatolia, you're talking about.
This is those Christians.
1450, the Moors were still running Spain.
This is those Christians and Jews who were in the Ottoman Empire, who had to flee those lands when the Ottomans took over, who were going into kingdoms and places where they weren't welcome because they had different religious practices than those people there. Not only that, they were bringing in shit that wasn't part of those empires, and they just wasn't as comfortable. So
that made sense to you before you said it.
I think he was going along. I ain't gonna lie.
This is what y'all do. This is what y'all do on the Coliseum of Arguments all day, every day.
What? You trying to make sense of nonsensical things?
Nope. Yeah. Yeah,
that's why he said debating is a waste of time. You start asking this nigga questions, he fall apart.
So, as these people were looking to settle and find these places they had heard about these islands because there's writers about them.
Okay, so we're back outside in the Atlantic Ocean again.
They're exploring. These people are now exploring.
When the Atlantic River.
Yeah, the Atlantic River. You right? Yep. The Atlantic River. The Atlantic Stream. We gonna call it a stream. That's how the Native American. That's how Africans.
Why are you mixing up the Moorish Empire in the Iberian Peninsula with the Ottomans? Why are you doing that?
I'm not.
You are. Because the people that went to those islands that you're talking about came from the Iberian Peninsula.
I'm absolutely.
They didn't come from fucking Constantinople.
Who said they did?
Bruh.
Who said they did?
Sabio.
Section you put out here earlier. So we're trying to
Sabio.
Absolutely not.
Can y'all hear me, Sabio?
What up?
What are you saying? Say that again. I'm getting a little confused. I'm trying to follow along. You started with 1453, the fall of the Ottoman Empire, right? I mean, Constantinople, right? Istanbul, whatever. Or Constantinople, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you at, 1453.
Yeah.
All right. What are you saying? Because I'm so confused.
So all I've been trying to get them to understand is that the fall of Constantinople led the Portuguese, Spanish, Dutch, really Portuguese and Spanish mainly, to find new trade routes because the Ottomans were controlling those ports. You can bring the Moors in if you want to. They're nothing.
What? They were running Portugal and Spain in 1452. What are you talking about?
Right. Controlling what ports?
They're small compared to the Ottomans. They aren't shit.
What?
Controlling.
They have been running it for
Sabio,
800
focus.
years at that
Sabio.
point.
Vassals. They are
Sabio.
fucking vassals. You're not. I don't
Focus,
care
Sabio.
about that bullshit ass 800-year
don't make
reign. At
sense.
this point,
Sabio,
since they're vassals,
focus. What ports are you talking about that the Ottomans were controlling? What ports?
all of them. They took control of all the Portuguese,
The
and
entire
Spanish
Mediterranean.
They
The
took control
Ottomans?
of all that. They took control of all that.
This
And
don't
the
make no
video,
sense.
at the beginning of the video I posted, it shows it. He clearly shows it.
This don't make no fucking sense.
He clearly showed the video.
Okay.
Clearly shows at the beginning. He clearly showed the little hospitallers or Christian or Catholic nation that held on to ports and held on to countries,
Y'all
and
see
the
how
little
he just like
Jewish ones that held on.
reading some
And
shit
then
he
you
don't
will
understand?
finally see eventually
Just like,
Muslims
come on,
take
bro.
control of them.
No.
No, you don't want to. You're right. You're right. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. This is around 1456, 1455. This starts happening.
Okay, but you're talking about two completely total different sides of the Mediterranean.
I'm talking. They're all under one.
No, they're
empire.
not. The western part of Rome had been fell, so they were under some whole other shit. You're talking about the Byzantines, which is the eastern part of the Roman Empire, which were controlling themselves by then because the eastern part didn't fall until Constantinople fell. They were still Roman. So over here on the western part, you got the Moors running the Iberian Peninsula for 800 years.
Shit. They're not running shit.
Bro.
You know
So
what?
what is the Spanish Inquisition? What was the point of it? What were they doing?
Getting Spain, getting Jews, Christians, and all those out of
No,
Spain.
the Christians were kicking the Muslims and the Jews out.
Okay, so wait. Let's circle back. Let's circle back.
And
Let's circle back. When did the Ottomans when did the Ottomans fall?
14. The Ottomans fell in 1921.
Okay, and just for clarification, which empire was controlling apparently all of the Mediterranean, including the Iberian Peninsula? Which empire was doing that?
The Romans before the Ottomans took control.
Okay, and so
Wait.
and the Ottomans were in power from what time to what time?
1453 to 1922.
No, the Ottoman
Cool.
Empire started 1299.
Cool. So when the Europeans
1922.
in Spain and Portugal took back their respective countries over there, you're telling me what they actually did was they overthrew the Ottoman Empire?
No.
Okay, so how did because remember, because the Moors weren't running shit and they weren't in charge, and that was all the Ottomans. So in order to get their land back
In 1922, they did.
I know.
what happened in
I'm asking
1492?
I'm asking about 1492, buddy.
In 1492.
Yes.
Yes.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
So
how did they get there? How did they get Spain and Portugal back? How did they take back control of the Iberian Peninsula? How did the Christians take it back? They'd have had to have overthrown the Ottomans, right?
No.
Because that's who was in control.
No, the Ottomans didn't control Spain. They were a vassal. Spain was a vassal to the Ottomans. This is what I've been trying to say.
All right, goddamn. You know what?
I can't.
Yes.
Oh God. So what were the Moors doing?
Getting kicked out. About to lose
By who? Who was kicking them out?
It's Christians.
So the Christians were
Okay, so
kicking
when
people
were the
out of the
Ottomans
country.
in control? How did they come into this story?
They weren't in, they ruled they were under the empire.
Take your time. Take your time. Go ahead.
Empire. So because they were under the empire, there were agreements.
What empire? How did it become and when did it what do you mean, bro? Like,
so that whole region was controlled or ran by the Ottomans. You couldn't make a move.
when was Morocco part of the Ottoman Empire?
It wasn't.
So how does that make sense? If that whole region was controlled by the Ottomans, but you're telling me Morocco was never controlled by the Ottomans. So how does that make sense?
A part of Morocco under the Ottoman Empire at a time.
By force?
I think. I could be wrong. Yes, they were. In the 16th century, the Ottoman undertook several expeditions of the Saudi state.
Where do Moors come from?
Capture of Fez, 1554. Capture of. So they did. In 1545, Ali Abu Hassan, the Wadisi ruler in northern Morocco, recognized the full authority of the Ottoman Sultan, sent the letter of submission, and declared himself an Ottoman vassal, thus attributing a vassal status to Fez. Later on in 1549, the Ottomans were unable to militarily intervene when the Wasadis lost Fez to their Saadian rivals under their leader Muhammad.
Sounds like Muslims fighting each other to me.
That's what it is. Muslims fighting Muslims. So
Right,
yes,
so
they were
what
under
is it?
Ottoman control. Oh shit.
Isn't that after the Moorish empires were already divided up and pushed out of Spain?
This is in.
Do you understand them?
We're back.
Because they
No,
were
they were
running
back.
the Iberian Peninsula from 711 to 1492. So where did the Ottomans come in with that? They weren't even alive when the Moors first started taking control of the Iberian Peninsula. There was no such thing as Ottomans
So
until
as
like
I was telling about,
1299. So from 711 to at least 1299, what was happening?
you say what?
Bruh.
Because I was looking at because somebody laughed when I was brought up Spain. And
Okay.
the
From
Spanish
from 711
between the Ottoman Empire.
the year 711 AD in the year of our Lord AD 711 to 1492 on the Iberian Peninsula, the Moors were running it. Had nothing to do with the Ottoman Empire until way later, if anything, right? Because who the Ottomans didn't come about till 1299. They had already been in Spain since 711.
So there's a whole lot of things that is missed. And that's why history has to be thrown down.
No, you're saying the Moors didn't do shit.
No, I didn't.
Bruh. Oh my God.
I said they were losing their influence and they weren't shit at this time.
What more?
This nigga is just I can't. Like, what the fuck?
I just needed to make sense, like geographically
and not knowing
and chronologically.
This shit's crazy. Yep, as I said, it was Sultan Bayezid who allowed him to come back in 1492. Yeah, so I could post y'all something.
Why were people running out of the Iberian Peninsula in 1492? Why were the Jews running into the ghetto in Venice? Why were the Muslims running to wherever they could run? Why was that happening?
Because of the Inquisition. Because they was getting their asses bombed.
So how was the Ottomans taking over if the Christians is killing everybody?
Here it is right here. The Spanish-Ottoman Wars. You want to learn about them? Read about them. Read about the Spanish-Ottoman Wars and quit questioning me.
They were fighting Muslims.
You want me to post it for you?
This nigga's retarded.
You want me to post it? I'm gonna post it for you.
He thinks he makes sense.
Since you don't want to learn, I'm gonna post the Spanish.
I don't.
I'm gonna post the Spanish. What does this say?
Like really dumb. And then he just runs away from all of his claims, tries to run somewhere else where he think he can,
and then tell you you're
Oh, I've
done.
been
yeah,
trying
like
to
he's
explain
just
it.
really
I've been
subtle.
trying
And
to
like the
explain. Y'all
entire
won't
time,
let
never
me.
ever
Y'all
said
keep
shit
asking
about
questions.
anything.
Y'all keep
Because
asking
it's not making
illogical.
sense.
Nah,
We're just supposed to sit here and let you
What you're
talk.
saying.
because y'all don't want it to.
You
Y'all
done
have to
ran to the
read.
16th century
Y'all
while you're
would have
saying
to
that
read.
the Ottoman
Y'all would
Empire
have to.
started the transatlantic
Y'all would
slave
have to
trade.
read. Y'all would have to read the shit that I read for it to make sense.
Bro, I'm
You would
just
have.
talking to you
You
off
would
the
have
top
to
of my
make
head.
sense for
Like, what
it
do
to
we
make
like?
sense. You didn't even
Yo,
know fucking Istanbul was in
you
Turkey. Like you have really got to shut up.
You didn't know that North Africa was on the Mediterranean. Like, come on.
Read the shit that I've read.
You thought they could go through the Suez Canal
No,
in
you haven't read
1400s.
a
Like, I'm
fucking
confused.
thing. What you do
No,
is
I didn't.
listen to
No, I
YouTube
didn't
videos
even
and
mention
regurgitate
now.
shit. And so therefore when people ask you questions, you get all in your feelings because you don't know
No, I
what's
don't.
behind the shit
I
you
asked you
regurgitating.
questions.
You're
I
just
was- I-
regurgitating shit. You didn't
No,
look
I
it up to learn it.
anything.
You're just
Hasn't nobody said this? There's no one in the world saying this. So who the fuck am I regurgitating?
Really?
You're
Because
so
you just said top
esoteric.
scholars were saying it. You said that fucking Garfield, Unc, and Sean said it.
I
You
told
said
them
that
this.
you were
I
having
told them. I told them this. They
You
knew
said
nothing.
that there was another
Here,
video
watch
on
this.
the same
Watch this.
channel that
Hold
you
up.
were
Chill
regurgitating
back.
now
Chill in.
had
Mark
said
it.
Wait. I
Mark
got
it.
I got a
That's
question.
the thing.
Chill out. Let me ask Mark a
Did this
question.
war this link you put in the back? Did this war include like the having access to the Strait of Gibraltar?
Read it. Read about it. I'm not answering
He
no
don't
more questions.
fucking
I want to.
know. He does not know.
I'm
He
not.
does
I'm not
even know what
answering.
the Strait of Gibraltar
I do.
is.
Oh, I do know.
He
I
did
do know.
not know
So
that.
again,
And mind you, he done ran to the
Chilimbe,
16th century when he was supposed to be telling us
Who brought
about
the Ottoman
how
Empire to
he
the
started
community?
the
Who
fucking
brought the Ottoman
transatlantic
Empire?
slave
Who
trade.
brought the Ottoman Empire to the community?
You think you taught, bro? We learned about this in high school. What are you talking about?
Who brought the Ottoman Empire and the in-depth study of the Ottoman Empire to the community, Marcus? Who was studying the Ottoman Empire before me?
There's people who know about it, but that's
Who
your
was
little.
I mean, you literally
I'm
learned this in
sure.
high school. What high school y'all went to that you didn't learn about the Ottoman Empire?
I learned about it in high school too. I learned what I
I ain't
learned
finished school,
about
so
We can't
what I
really
learned
talk
about
his high school.
look, I asked one person a question. Everybody's speaking for him.
We can't
Marcus,
do that.
Marcus, who brought
Oh.
before who studied the Ottoman Empire in depthly?
None of this.
On
I mean,
YouTube.
that's the area that you concerned with. Most people don't pay attention to it as much as you do. I'm
And
sure
what
there
and
were
why
people.
and
I'm
what was
sure
my
there were
main
people who
and what was my
already.
main reason? And
Are
what
you
did I
gonna let
tell
me
y'all my
finish?
main reason was
Are you gonna
was
let me finish talking? Or are you just gonna cut me off like everybody else do?
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm sure there were people who knew about it, but that's your area of specialty that you learn to study. So naturally, you would bring more information than most people would.
Man,
I'm
but
finished
why
now.
you
Thank
don't
you.
know that?
So, and my main reason for studying it was because I wanted to know what led to the transatlantic slave trade. What slave trades were happening before the transatlantic slave trade? Because I didn't just think it popped up out of the blue. There had to be a precursor or something going on that these Christians picked up from.
But you didn't know where Zanzibar. You don't know about Zanzibar. I'm confused.
You don't know about none of
There
these
was
places.
there was a lot of activity going on prior to the Ottoman Empire's influence reaching into the Iberian Peninsula. You got Sugar Islands already in Canary Islands. Before, yeah, you already got sugar plantations there, so they were already in the midst of developing that. You got the invasion 1404, 1406, and they took this captives from the Canary Islands, brought them back to the Iberian Peninsula, Spain. The Portuguese enslaved them, brought sugar plantations from the area, island in the Mediterranean there. So you already had all those things in flow before the Ottomans even reached to Al-Andalus at the time.
Right.
So that's all I'm gonna say about
The
that.
Byzantines were Romans. They had slaves. Like what we like. Slavery was
Yeah,
not
but
something new in the world.
yeah, but the difference is hey Miss Linda, how you doing? The difference is they had slavery in Rome. They had slavery in West Africa. They had slavery in Islamic world. Even in parts of Asia, Eastern Asia, you had types of slavery. But when it comes to the West African transatlantic slave trade, that's a specific time frame in which that took place. Some things are uniquely different, um, especially just the impact of the global economy it had and the trade of information that had came from that. So
So if the transatlantic slave trade was the Ottomans kicked it off, where are the Ottoman colonies in the Americas?
The Ottomans didn't kick it off. They forced the Europeans to stop using the silk trade routes on the eastern
So
part
we're
of
just
the
gonna ignore my
Mediterranean.
question.
No, I'm answering it. You just
So
give me a chance.
they don't have any colonies here in the Americas?
They that's not they didn't push into the western parts of the world, the Western society. What they did is they
So how
forced.
can they be responsible for the transatlantic slave trade?
What they did is they forced the Western Europe to find different trade routes, which ended up leading to them enslaving those in the Western world. They call it today, or the Americas. So they had trade. So they had trade routes along the eastern part of the Mediterranean, and when the Ottomans
Wait, hold
took
on.
over those trade.
So no,
So
Marcus is explaining it correctly, not the way that this dummy did it.
Explained it the same way.
No, he didn't.
Shut
What
the
you
fuck
said
up.
was that the Christians and the
Make up a new
Muslims
argument.
were
Make
getting
up a new argument.
together,
I said the
and
same
the
shit he just
Abrahamic
said.
faith
Make up a new
decided
argument.
that they needed to fucking get together and they needed to not fight each other, so they had to go and do something else, right? So yes, we know that the whole reason why Christopher Columbus even got any kind of money is to go
A new
around the
argument.
other
Make up a
way.
new argument to argue. Y'all are wrong. I
To
was
go
right.
around the
He
other
tried to
way
slam
because they
y'all because
didn't
he
want to
just
go through
confirmed
the
everything I
Ottomans.
Sir,
said.
are you
Shut up.
okay?
Shut
No,
up.
he's not
Shut up. Are
okay.
you
And I'm
okay?
glad that I have
Shut
this
up.
recorded.
Shut up.
I'm so
Shut
glad.
up.
I'm
Shut
going to
up.
put it out.
Shut up.
How we beat
Shut
the
up.
fuck out of
Because he
Esabio.
just said everything I just said.
No,
He
he
just
didn't. You've
repeated
never said
everything
that.
I said.
You
He
didn't say that
repeated
not one
everything
time
I
since we
said.
got.
He repeated everything
King
about the
Nava been
trade
here,
war.
Shavy,
I know trade war.
Fabo been
Y'all are
here,
liars.
Real been
Y'all
here, and
are
I
liars.
recorded it, honey.
Y'all are liars.
I
Y'all are
recorded it. You
disingenuous
didn't say any
liars.
of this.
Y'all are disingenuous
We've been
liars.
waiting on you to say the shit, but you've never said it. You went everywhere around the world and started talking about
10
Muslims and
times.
Christians.
I talked about the trade routes and it's forcing them to find new trade routes.
No, you were talking about
Said it 10
Christians
times.
and Muslims.
Said it 10 times. I
You were
said
talking
it
about
10
Christians versus
times.
Muslims.
I said it 10 times.
You didn't.
And then y'all started asking me different stupid ass questions.
Because you don't know shit.
I said it 10 times.
You don't
Shut
know
up.
anything. So where were these trade routes that they were trying to get around?
Shut up. Shut up.
You don't know? Because you
most of
don't.
them most of them carried along those ancient
No.
ones.
We talking about like the Silk Road?
I'm asking him, where were these trade routes?
Oh, you asking Esabio? Okay, no problem.
Yeah, because we know. He don't seem to know shit. He keeps regurgitating things, but when you're asking him specific questions, he never can answer them. He told us this was a Christian versus Muslim thing. He done told us all kinds of dumb shit.
Christian versus Muslim thing. What does he mean?
Oh, I can explain.
That's what we trying to figure out.
We kept trying to figure it out. He just kept saying it was the Christians, and the Muslims took over the Christians' ports, and then the Christians had to fight the Muslims, and then the Christians they had to do this, and we're like, why are you
going to explain it for me? He's going to explain it for me.
You know what I'm saying? This is what we're.
Are you going to explain it for me, or you want me to explain what I meant by that?
Tell him.
Because I can clearly, I can explain it myself.
He didn't ask you.
I can explain.
He didn't.
I can explain it myself.
He didn't ask you.
Oh, okay. So you going to explain what I meant?
He asked me.
So you going to explain what I meant?
What do you mean by that? That's
you going to explain what I meant?
Esabio. What did you mean by that?
You don't know what I meant by it. But you don't know what I meant by it.
I never said that I did. That's the point.
Oh, but you gonna try to explain it.
Well, how
Yo,
can I
stupid ass.
explain it when the whole
That's
point
what you
is
call
that
stupid.
we
That's
don't
what you
know?
call stupid. That's what you call stupid.
Yes,
Trying to explain
you are.
something
You
somebody else
are what we
said.
call stupid. Yes, you are.
Trying to speak for somebody else is stupid.
Yeah, you definitely are doing that. You're speaking for me. Because you in here trying to tell me what I was saying.
Actually not.
Yes, you are.
I'm actually not. I'm only
You are.
speaking for me.
No,
I
you're
ain't
not.
never
You
said
said you're
anything
gonna
like
try to tell him this. You're trying to tell him that. That means you're telling me what I'm saying out my mouth, right? So you're speaking for me. And that's what we call stupid, right? That's what you just said is what we call stupid. Exactly what it is what we call stupid.
I'm rubber you glue. That's what you're doing now.
what we call
I'm rubber you
stupid.
glue. I'm rubber you glue. That's what
No,
you're
I'm
doing
just
now.
agreeing with you that's what
I'm
we
rubber
call
you glue.
stupid.
I'm rubber you glue.
I'm
That's what you're
agreeing.
doing now.
That's what we call
Because I
stupid.
told you never speak your
Oh
name
my
up.
goodness.
I've always said the things that
That's what we
Esabio.
call
Say that shit
stupid.
one more
I've
time.
always tried to clearly speak for me.
What'd you say,
I've
Lorel?
always tried to clean up the things that I
You say
said.
that one more time.
I'm rubber, you glue. Anything you say, your shit go to
Right.
you.
We are like 5 years old right now. Just want y'all to know that.
That was
This nigga kept
gosh.
saying stuff and going back on it all day. Like, what the
Yes, I'm
fuck?
like,
You and for somebody to say he studied that shit is crazy. For you to not know the geography of the place you claim is your field of study.
Oh, he gone. He left.
Not knowing what the Strait of Gibraltar plays in the politics of the Mediterranean is wild.
Like he said, this has nothing to do
Somebody
with Barbary pirates.
can,
What?
can somebody try to explain what he was saying, what his claims were?
I didn't
So
know. All I know is I'm rubber, you glue.
he said the Ottomans, so the fall of Constantinople is what caused the transatlantic slave trade.
It kicked it off. He said because the
They
Muslims
kicked it off.
got together. Yeah. He said it kicked it off. He wrote that. He wrote that in the back. And then he said, I never said that. And I'm like, it's written. It's like it's literally written. I don't know what. He said it had nothing to do with Barbary pirates. He said we're not talking about Turkey. We're talking about Istanbul.
He said it wasn't on the Mediterranean.
Yeah, he said none of this stuff has to do with the Mediterranean.
When I said that Morocco, what did I say? I said something about it being on the Mediterranean. He said that's in North Africa.
Then when she brought up Syria, he said that's the Levant. Still the Mediterranean. God. Oh my goodness.
Gets a little passionate about this thing. Okay, no problem.
But he didn't know nothing. So when we're trying to talk about what's happening in certain places, he's saying that these places aren't like they're not important. But they are important.
Or like they're not far away from each other.
Yeah, it's like, what are we talking about? This is here. How does this happen over here? Like, what does this have to do with this over here? And all these different things. And then it would just be you're saying stuff and then you're backtracking. And you're saying stuff and then you're backtracking. So it's like you can never get to what are you talking about?
Okay.
But I'm glad that it's recorded because you don't take our word for it. You can just play it.
No. Esabio. I think you just jumped back in.
What else?
What is the connection you trying to make with Christianity and Islam? Can you just give it to me in a short synopsis?
Okay, so if there was a time when, and I have to go get this. There's a treaty that was formed between the religions to say that they would no longer enslave people of the same faith. That's why Christians, if the Christians don't enslave Christians, remember that shit? That was how they stopped enslaving Native Americans, because they made them Christians.
When
And
they
that was
stop, there you talking about.
so. But this happened. This happened early on. So this is why Muslims stopped enslaving other Muslims.
Hey man, this niggas are crazy as hell. What they talking about?
This happened early on. This was a religious pact that said people of the same faith could not be mistreated. And it goes back to that shit back in Genesis or back in Leviticus or one of those early Bible books where you're not supposed to rule over people of the same faith or the same with the hard hand, whatever that shit said in the Bible.
Talking about the pactum. You're talking about the pactum. Is
Yeah,
that what you're using?
I don't remember the name of the pact, but yeah, it was a pact that they made.
Okay.
And that's all I was referencing. It
And
wasn't
so
no
and so people disagree with that. And did other people in the group disagree with the
I don't I think the way I worded it wasn't understandable.
Okay.
When earlier in the conversation.
I forget the name of it, but it was like in like the early 9th or 10th century. There was a pact made between two powers about enslaving Christians, or at least enslaving each other in that regard. But I'm not sure how you take that pact and link it to the Ottoman Empire. How do you do that?
No, it's not. It's not the. It's not the Ottoman Empire specifically that I'm linking it to. It's the mindsets of those people that took over and how that would have been taught and passed down. So Mehmet was very fond of Alexander. He studied all his conquests and shit. And there were some other generals that he would study too that took over shit. And he wanted to be like them. So taking these things into consideration, you have to look into how he would want himself to look to his constituents.
He wanted to be Greek?
No. Yes and no. You would have to read about him to understand his mindset. It's hard to explain his mindset, but he did kind of have some Greek leanings. You would have to read about it. It's weird.
Why is it weird?
Because it's hard to explain.
It's not.
It is, because I
It's
can't
not.
explain.
The Romans spread Greek culture to that part of the world, to everybody. What do you mean? It's not weird. It's like American culture. Like, I don't.
Look, so what I'm saying is explaining Mehmet is weird. You asked if he wanted to be Greek, and it's a yes and no.
Because Greek culture was ingrained in that part of
Not,
the world
not only because of the Greek,
thousands of years, maybe.
Because he was embedded in his culture. He spread Ottoman culture. So it's weird.
But so when someone takes something over, right, you don't think that the culture that was currently there gets intermingled with it? So it would be like in America, right?
Yes, it does.
The Mississippi River, like that's a Native American word, right? Like we have things that are still called that. We still have different Native American culture because they were here already, and then it just kind of combines together. Right. So when the Ottomans took over Constantinople and turned it into Istanbul, you don't think some of the culture that was there stayed?
Absolutely. And that's why I'm saying it's weird. Like the Hagia Sophia.
How is it weird?
Like the Hagia Sophia. No, yes, it is. But we're not talking about the overall culture. We're talking about this person. And you asked me about him. I'm not talking about the overall culture and the
But
environment.
you were saying that he was studying Alexander the Great,
Yes, and he
which
studied
wouldn't
us.
have been his own culture, right?
He also studied his dad. He studied Saladin. He studied a lot of other conquerors, but he admired. There was a certain weird fascination that he had with Alexander, and I can't explain it. It's just a weird thing that made
But
him.
what? Let me ask you, what does that have to do with the comment about 1453?
My comment about 1453 was only about how the fall of Constantinople led to the transatlantic slave trade. It has nothing to do with it.
I think it
All
would be the Spanish Inquisition, but hey.
she just asked me about him though. So I was just explaining how he had issues and
But
kind
prior
of
prior to
thought he
but
was partially Greek.
oh, okay, but prior to 1453, they were already enslaving people, Savio.
Yeah,
So
on the
it had already started.
on the islands,
Not on
No,
the islands. In 1442, they was on the coast, the west coast of Africa.
on the
the
west coast of Africa.
Portuguese were, not the Ottomans.
Yeah,
Right.
on the west coast of
In
Africa.
1442, they
I
already
know.
had sugar plantations.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
But these are Portuguese people, not
I,
Moors or Ottomans,
I
right?
know this. I know this. I mentioned it. These were the beginnings. They were already finding new routes.
But these were Christian Portuguese people.
God damn. I know.
So what does that have to do with the Ottomans in Turkey?
It had so they were on the islands. They were using the already established trade routes, Joe.
Who is they?
The Portuguese.
Okay, so where do the Ottomans
When,
come in?
when the Ottomans took control of those trade routes, they couldn't use them. That's why they didn't go back.
Oh no, 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 no,
No,
no,
yeah,
no,
no.
Xavier. We talking two separate. I get it now. Nah, well, I get it. Can we say this, Xavier? Let me ask you this. Could you say this comfortably, right? That the fall of Istanbul accelerated Western Europe's um, maritime trade because of the need for new routes that accelerated. Would you say that?
Yes, because that's what happened.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're saying it caused it. I'm saying that prior to that the fall of Turkey, that
But
the fall that happened in Turkey, that they were already in exploration route because they already had new means for sugar
those, yeah,
plantations.
but those routes got blockaded.
They didn't. The Ottoman Empire never blockaded West Africa. They
No,
didn't. They blocked East Mediterranean, which forced more to go west. But the Ottoman Empire didn't block Ghana. It didn't block Mauritania, modern day
no,
Mauritania or Mali. It
they
didn't it didn't
blocked.
reach that. They blocked what?
Hold up, because I don't want to misspeak.
Blocked the Silk Trade. They blocked in the Indian Ocean. They blocked the Nile. They blocked that side of the Mediterranean. They progressed slowly towards Western Africa, Western Europe, but they never created any major blockades along that route. They had a whole nother different issue going on that side. So you got them
Asked
arriving
about
at
the Strait
14.
of Gibraltar.
Right. The Ottoman Empire never fully controlled that. They had isolated provinces in that area. But that area from, like I say, like 1367, 65, had been in continuous conflict. Different rulers coming up, leaving different tribal chiefs taking over control. You know, just want to align themselves with this person and that person. So it was never a cohesion of the Ottoman Empire over there.
I didn't say it was a cohesion.
Yeah, but they never without a cohesion. How you gonna blockade something? How
So,
you gonna block the trade routes? No, that's not what happened.
all right. So the capture of Constantinople to the Ottoman Turks was a key event. Along with their victory, they now had significant control of the Silk Road, which European countries used to trade with Asia. While many sources state that the Ottoman Empire blocked the Silk Road by increasing taxes, this is not supported by any larger body of historical research. In fact, there was no general decline in spice imports to Europe after 1453 because Constantinople was not a major trade route in the spice trade, and most trade instead came from Alexandria and Beirut. The only large change in the price of spice occurred in the Second Ottoman-Venetian War. Due to this lack of change, it is likely that there was no discernible blocking of the spice trade by the Ottoman Empire during this. Instead, European explorers simply searched for alternate trade routes, as I said, to supplement. They looked for.
That's not what you said.
So
That is
I
not
did,
what you said.
I did say it. I said they looked for. I did say they had to find new trade routes to
All right, I'm done.
supplement. Make it to the and this is in 1499 that this happened.
Yeah, but you were saying that the fall of Istanbul, right? The fall of Istanbul triggered the kicked off the transatlantic slave route. That's in
Yeah,
1453, right?
yes, yeah.
I was saying that it just accelerated European explorers. Like it just accelerated how fast they were doing it because of what
It
happened
did
in Istanbul.
because they had to
Right,
get away at
but they were
oppression.
already doing it though. But they were already doing it though.
Yeah, but they weren't doing it to they weren't doing it as a
There's a
means of
different
looking
there's a
for an escape.
yeah, but there's a
Here,
difference between causing something and then having people like to be the cause of the transatlantic slave trade instead of just being something that accelerated European expansion and exploration, which then turns into the enslavement of more people. That's two different things. Because what you're really saying is if Istanbul didn't fall, then they wouldn't have been doing the exploration. And I'm saying no, they were still doing the exploration whether Istanbul fell or not. The difference came in is when they fell, they had a new threat, and therefore they accelerated their expansions into West Africa. I think that's more a complete way of saying it. Because if you look at the Canary Islands, 1392, you got the Italians headed in there for trade. 1402, 1404, you got the
more
Portuguese or
right.
Spain. I can't remember which one.
I mentioned
That's
1406.
right. They took the king and queens from the Canary Islands. They started bringing sugar plantation from Malaria Islands to the Canary Islands. Then you have Papa Boy that came out saying leave the Canary Islands alone because of the damage it was doing to the indigenous people. Still disputed. Some people don't believe that's what he said, but I argue that he did. Some scholars, it's still debated between scholars on the intent of that Papa Bull. And all this happened before 1453. So you got all
Yeah,
this transaction going on in the western part of Europe before the fall of Istanbul.
yeah. This was all happening before. And
Right.
the
And then they got the fall. Then you got the fall. Then you got um, an accelerated, a greater need to really look for these new spices and stuff from India and
but
from
it was
China.
also but it was also land. It was also looking for land because
Why were they looking for land?
because a lot of those people they were landless serfs.
What?
They were landless serfs
In what area?
in a lot of those areas.
Bruh.
Yeah,
They were
I
looking
need
for
more.
they
I
were
need
looking for
more.
they were looking for a place where they could practice their religion freely.
Okay. Do you
because
know how
they were
big the Mediterranean is? Do you know how far Istanbul is from Spain? Like Istanbul literally sits on the border of Europe and Asia. One side is on one side is on the other. Spain is on the Iberian Peninsula on the west coast of Europe. It's
Yes,
literally like you saying people in New York are doing the same thing as people in California.
yeah, you were speaking on the Pactum Authority.
Which happens way before the Ottoman Empire as well. So I'm trying to get a chronologic order here for you. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I think you could use Esabio if you were going to make an argument about how
840.
Christian, the way the Christians and the Muslims politics blended in to
This is what I'm.
colonization and expansion. I would look at the poem of the King of Tars,
The,
right? If you
the,
go look at that story, I think it's like 13 something. You go look at that story, you'll find all the elements that you're talking about in that poem, where it even goes into part that the baby was born black and miraculously they prayed to Jesus and the baby turned white and they were good. So you
Turn
can
white.
find that, right?
I
You can
got that.
find that in the King of Tars. I think you could make a better claim
I got
by
the King of
using the
Fall.
king. Yeah, I'm saying you can make a better claim by using that source. Saying, look at the King of Tars, look at the descriptions they're talking about between Islamic, Christian nations, black, white, good, evil, and use that as a catalyst to talk about this was a thought of that time.
Yeah,
It was a reflection of
that,
how people believed.
and
That's all
that's
I'm gonna say about it.
I understand what you're saying, and this is what I think's been not looked at because I'm trying to look at the mindset of these people and what'll make these people stop doing what they have been doing, taking slaves from the regions they've been taking them from, and just start focusing in one specific area, one specific landmass to degrade humans.
But you're talking about two different sets of people.
Yes, and they're all under this Abrahamic religion. And this religion actually is three different sets of people. And they're all under this religion. And this religion has a framework and an idea that places a specific people at the bottom based off of lookership or outside of humanity. And this is why those treaties, some of those treaties were made, and the language in them, heathen, outside of Christ, lost to uh not under the Christian banner, though that language was used when they went into these lands.
Right. But okay.
So this goes back to what he was saying when they were going on the islands in the early 1400s.
Yeah, but these are not Muslim or Ottoman people.
They are, sis. I'm not talking about those. Because at that time the Ottomans were still fighting for control of other areas.
Right, because the Moors were already in control of the area you're talking about.
About the Moors. The Moors are so insignificant in this conversation.
Bruh. How?
Because
How? You're talking about the Iberian Peninsula in 1400s and the Spanish Inquisition and the Mediterranean and who had control, and you want to tell me that the Moors are insignificant? Like, that is wild.
they're losing power. They're
They were
losing
in control from 711
they're
till
losing it.
1492.
They're losing it. They're losing their grip.
Okay, but to say that they're insignificant is wild, because what were the Portuguese and Spanish? What were they doing? Why were they leaving? What was happening? Like, what do you mean it's insignificant? Like, that's crazy.
Struggling.
Why was Columbus leaving in 1492? It just happened the same year that they were kicking everybody out. What was happening?
Trying to bring some money to the empire. They were broke from all the wars they
Well, I think that's a gross overstatement. At that time, Spain and Portuguese were like world powers, right?
but they were just in the war.
Well, not Spain and Portuguese. Let me say, Port and Castile.
They had lost a lot of their funds helping fight them Muslims or them Ottomans.
So didn't Christopher Columbus ask the king of Portugal first, and they told him no? And so then that's when he went to Spain, and so that's when Isabella and Ferdinand funded him?
Yep.
Yeah, well, they merged those, Sabio. So by that time, they were already marrying. You got to remember that when the Moors were there, they only had little small townships, chiefdoms, and stuff like that.
They
Go
were
ahead, I'm sorry.
fun because some of these kingdoms were losing their funds, and they were marrying to keep money in the family, to empire back up.
So then some had to have money.
Yeah,
right?
some of them.
Two poor people. So two poor people marrying together don't create funds.
No,
right?
I'm not saying all of them was poor. I'm saying some of them
Okay,
they were.
Right.
They
so go
they
ahead. I'm
had
sorry.
money in that war for help fueling that war.
Okay, so some lost money in the war because you said they were marrying, right, for funds. So you got Queen Isabella and Fernando marrying. They combined two small princedoms at that time to create a large conglomerate. Their grandson becomes the King of Spain, which is the title of all three of those princedoms together, versus just the two, which was Castile. So when they start to consolidate, their power rises and their wealth accumulation.
Bingo.
Right. So when Spain and Portuguese by 1491, they are world powers. Like they are on a rise, population thriving in somewhat outside of disease and famine, diseases that were premolating during Europe at that time. But outside of that, they were world powers, or else how can they fund, in part at least, the shipbuilding necessity to be able to trade in West Africa?
I'm not saying they weren't on the
Okay,
rise.
good.
But what I'm saying is that we have to take all these things into consideration and recognize that while these things was happening, these Ottomans were already had a head start.
What do you mean by head start? That is no, because see, okay, all right. I don't know what you're trying to explain to me, Xavier. I need help. Help me understand.
So I'm talking about with building an empire and building and being able to explore. Because now it's a race. It's a race. Who's going to control the known world? That's why
they were racing to control the Mediterranean at the point in time
the
you're
known
talking
world
about.
to them. That is the known world to them. They don't know anything else but that, sis.
So they didn't know nothing about Asia or nothing? You're talking about them controlling the Silk and Spice Roads. So what are you talking about? They knew about the whole continent of Asia at that point already.
When I say the known world, I'm talking about all of that. I'm talking about all that they know. Asia, Europe, the Mediterranean, All that is the known world to them.
Okay.
So this is what this is about. No one knew America existed.
Well, didn't you bring up Perry Reese earlier?
Perry Reese didn't know about America.
So what's the map? That map fake?
Perry Reese never made a map of America.
Has anybody else seen the Perry Reese map? Am I crazy? I'm confused right now. It has like Antarctica and
But
everything
nobody
on
care
it.
about that shit. I don't even know why y'all sitting here entertaining Esabio like this.
Well, because he brought it up, so I'm just asking. And
Yeah,
so
I
now
know.
he's
That's what I'm
saying that
saying.
there's no
Usually when
map, and I mean that's what people know Perry Reese for is the Perry Reese map. So I'm confused at what
usually
you
when
mean.
Esabio brings stuff up, people just ignore him. That's like the tradition.
I'm just trying to make it make
It's like
sense.
part
I'm
of our back
sorry.
chat culture. It's like part of the culture. No hard feelings though. Like we don't mean
Because
nothing
he's
by it.
making it seem like Perry Reese is known for something other than this map.
Who the hell is that? The Perry Watt Jean niggas?
Perry Reese is known for other
Oh
things in the
man.
map. If you only know about him for his map,
I
then
was
that's
talking to sis. Damn.
I mean, that's what I'm gonna put it in the back, right? So this is the Perry Reese map, and they don't understand how he made this map, and it has the coast of Antarctica and the Americas on there. If you see, because if you look at it, I just put it in the back. That has the coast of West Africa on the side there, and then across would be South America, right? No, yes, I don't know, but hey.
which one is that? The 1513 map?
No,
Yeah,
it's
but
like 14 something, I think.
Because he got a couple of maps that he made. Oh, that's the map of Antarctica?
yeah, the 1513 map has um, South America and all like that in there. I think that's the one that we talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave to the. I think he gave it to Sultan of Egypt or some thing like that. They still only got a fragment of it, but yeah. But
Mhm.
then by that time, they were already, at least in part, exploring more from the Caribbean into the continents. You got 1502, 1503, somewhere around there. You got them leaving and heading into Florida.
So he was like super
But I'm
accurate.
yeah, for his time, yeah, yeah.
So, what else did he supposedly do besides make maps?
He was a navigator. Um, he led some raids. He led some battles for Mehmed and for Bayezid. Yeah, he was pretty well known. He was pretty high. He wasn't just no map maker. That was one of the things he did though.
He was a world renowned type dude at the time. Yeah,
That's a map.
the longitude and
It's a
latitude lines.
map maker.
Yeah, he was definitely he was renowned for that, for his world travel, et cetera, the information he contained.
Well, I would think should travel if you're going to be making maps.
Right.
Admiral, navigator, and a corsair.
How would you make a map without being a navigator?
Yeah, you would have to go. So you can map it out. How would you know it was there?
He used to sail with his uncle.
Okay. You
I
can
remember
be wiki.
from biography. Nah, if I remember from his biography. I don't know. I ain't read it in a while.
Bruh. Oh, I was about to say.
That just make no goddamn sense, bro. What?
I haven't read it in a while. What do you mean? I haven't read it in a while, and I didn't read his whole biography. I read something about him in his biography where it spoke on his uncle and him selling with his uncle. If that's how he used to sell, I don't know.
Well, I mean, back then, that was how anybody had to learn things, right? You had to be an apprentice up under somebody.
So, and I think he taught his son, but I don't know. I'm just saying, that's just what just my research has led me to see that those other slave trades existed, and the Portuguese and Dutch and Spanish and all those people just didn't just pick up something out of the blue and just say we just gonna start a slave.
But neither did the Ottomans.
There was already a slave trade existing.
Right. Like there's been slavery since the history of the world and culture. The Romans had slaves, the Byzantines had slaves. Over time, the culture of slavery changes and people start to see it's wrong, or like the classification, like the same thing that happened in America.
Only people who didn't have slaves was African Americans as a nation. We never had slaves.
Yes, they did.
African
They
American.
fucking sold us as slaves. What are you talking about?
No, I said us as a nation. I said us as a nation.
African
We
American.
never sold slaves. Collectively,
Well, I don't
we
know.
never
The first court case in America is a black man saying he owns his slaves. So
that black man was not the president of the African Americans.
he was an African American, though.
But listen to what I said. As a nation, we have never.
We're Americans as a nation.
That's a ridiculous statement.
No,
Right.
we black Americans as a nation.
But we're still American.
Yeah, that's your nationality. But I'm saying our ethnic group is a nation. Like that's why we got a flag. It's red, black, and green. They fly it every year. Why do you think we got a flag? Why do you think we got a flag and
I
nobody
mean, I
else
guess
got
the
it?
Confederates got a flag too.
This is
I'm just gonna say thank you. Thank you for watching us. And to look out for the Baddies show, I'm going to end it with the Baddies video so y'all can remember to check us out on the Bar Reloaded, on the Titans Debate Link, and on More Contentious Media. And I'll probably do a Tuesday show or something. But anyway, peace.
Bar Baddies. Bar Baddies bring your information to you. Lock and loaded, finna get the whole crowd moving. Level up the game, make way. Bar Baddies in the building. We here to fill your cup. Get this tea, get it up. Bar Baddies bring your information to you. Lock and loaded, finna get the whole crowd moving. Level up the game, make way. Bar Baddies in the building. We here to fill your cup. Get this tea, get it up. We in the building, gon' start with us. Come on, run the mud with us. All these thugs quacking, what's a diva? Cause they not with us. Licenses, businesses, we all know just what it is. Friendship goes on, you folks wanna come and get it in. Who the sexy one? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Bar Baddies stepping in the building, bet you he gon' fall. I like to stun on niggas, come and be my trampoline. All the pseudo judo, you ho, come and watch us do our thing. You know we research show news about honey. Bitch, you couldn't pass a crash test and you the dummy. Bar Baddies speaking English, bar butts and money. And this is a choir test, I know you can't relate, bummy. And when we sing that lead, click that shit. Run the views up, baby, hit that lead. Write your favorite baddie in the comments then. It's the Bar Reloaded, come on, welcome in. Bar Baddies bring your information to you. Lock and loaded, finna get the whole crowd moving. Level up the game, make way. Bar Baddies in the building. We here to fill your cup, get this tea, get it up. Bar Baddies bring your information to you. Lock and loaded, finna get the whole crowd moving. Level up the game, make way. Bar Baddies in the building. We here to fill your cup, get this tea, get it up.
Bar Baddies stay poppin' it. For Barbaronia, the bow. Cause Shay and Tay rested and honey make your diva life look bummy. Fill any platform with it, do a thing.